Hello everybody, my name is Yun and today we're going to be doing a farm tour. I've seen a couple people asking for it in the comments, so I figured we'd do it today. We're going to start right in the beginning. This is the driveway to come into the farm, and right here we fill up the sprayer. So we just leave it here. Chem handler's back there, and this is where we put all the chemicals into it, and then we could just rip out to the fields. Then all the barns are right here right away. This first barn was the first barn to be on the yard. It was here when my parents bought the farm. The old bulk tank used to sit right in this room here. And the old parlor used to be right there, but that building's gone now. That feed bin there's a little auger that goes inside the calf barn there. It's just got some pallets in there. And then this is the individual calf pen barn. There's 4 rooms in here, and each room has pens for 24 calves. There's 3 doors to a room, just so that we can drive in and clean out the pens, and then we can also drive through the middle and put pallets of stuff in there. You can see some sawdust in there. So most of the overhead doors on the farm have these steel posts poured into the concrete. They're filled with concrete, and they got some flashy tape on there. And these are just here so that if you're not paying attention in the skid steer or the loader or whatever you're driving, and you're about to hit the side of the door, hopefully you hit this thing first, and that should keep the doors in working order. Then this is the old freestall barn. There used to be all the milk cows in here, but now it's renovated into a group pen calf barn. There's 4 pens in here, and we usually put 12 calves to a pen. So there used to be a ton of free stalls along this entire wall. And we'll walk through all the barns here. I'm just gonna show you guys everything from the outside first. Then we have the feed roller mill set up right here. Big barley bin, roller mill, and then the 4 commodity bins here. First one is rolled barley, the second one is dried distiller's grain, then we have some milk cow supplement, some minerals, and then the last one is beet pulp. This is the parlor barn and straw pack barn. It's got the double 12 parallel milk parlor in there, and then 2 straw packs. It's also got all the offices in there, and the bulk tank, and electrical room, water room, all that kind of stuff. And then the last barn here is the biggest one on the entire yard, and this is the cow barn. Got a bunch of COVID-19 signs up on all the doors. So that bulk tank used to just sit right here, and we're actually trying to sell that milk tank, so if anybody's interested, my email will be in the description. I believe it's about a 7,800 liter milk tank. And this used to be the old calf barn, but now we just store some tools in here. And then from the tool place here, we have another group pen calf barn. Same thing here, usually just about 12 calves a pen, but there's only room for 24 in here, so. Got a bunch of sawdust here as well. And then from the old bulk tank room here, we go into the calf barn. Everything's tied together, all the barns, they're all linked up, which is really nice when it's minus 30 outside. So this is just the hallway in between all the rooms. And this is one of the 4 rooms. I think the smallest calves are in here. Yep. That's a little red steer calf. He's the youngest calf on the entire farm. It's probably a day old or so. It's just chilling. So each one of these calf rooms is individually ventilated. There's inlets along the entire roof, and they just adjust, open and close to keep it at the set point temperature. Some circulation fans to keep the air circulating in here. And there's also a hose in every single room on a reel here, and that's just so that we can pour some water in there after, once they get a little bit older, and get weaned off of milk. Now from here we're going to go into the group pen calf barn. So this one's twice as big as the other one we just saw. 48 calves total. The ventilation in this barn is quite a bit simpler. These fans are not actually hooked up yet. They're still got to be wired in, but there's a bunch of panels that just slide open, and that lets enough air to flow through here. Now we're going to go into the parlor barn here. So this first straw pack here is the maternity pack. These ladies are close to calving, and we put them in here 3 weeks before they're due to calve. And then the one on the left here is the special needs pack. Any cows that are limping, or they're sick maybe, or even some cows don't even want to eat through the headlockers in the main cow barn just over there. So if they're good producers, we'll just put them in here. This barn is tunnel ventilated. There's 3 72-inch exhaust fans on each side, and they just turn on as it's needed to keep this barn at about 15 degrees Celsius. If it's warmer outside, they'll all be cranking and it'll just get a little bit warmer in here, but it still pulls a really good breeze through here. I can feel it even standing in the middle here, and it keeps these cows nice and cool. So all the straw packs are pretty simple. There's just an alley here so that when the cows are standing here, they're gonna crap a lot, and then we can just scrape this out separately. It keeps the straw pack quite a bit cleaner. Each straw pack has 2 water bowls, so we can actually split them up and make this 2 packs, but we just keep it as 1 for now. And then each straw pack also has a cow brush in there. I already filmed a barn tour that was pretty detailed, but we'll go check out the parlor and then head over to the cow barn. If you guys want a more detailed tour of these 2 barns, the parlor barn and the main cow barn, I already made a video of that, so you can check it out on my channel. So in the front of the same barn is the milking parlor. It's a double 12 parallel parlor, full stainless steel. That holding area holds about 124-ish cows. We got ADF milk claws here, so that means they automatically apply the teat dip to the cow and back flush after that. We just put these floor mats in, pretty nice to walk on. And that's the parlor. This is the basement. That's the main milk line. Flows all down into this corner and into our receiver jar here, which pumps it straight up to the milk tank. And all the pulsators and electrical stuff for the most part is down in the basement here. Just keeps everything clean, and hopefully this way it's gonna last a lot longer. This is the milk tank. It's 8,000 gallons, just over 30,000 liters. It's the second half of it. It's got 2 agitators in there, so it's constantly mixing the milk up, make sure it doesn't separate. That's the wash box, so when the milk gets picked up, every second day, it'll just rinse the entire tank down. This is the cow barn. It's got 256 beds in total, 234 self lockers. There's 2 groups in here, each side. And this is the Lately feed pusher here. It's just finishing up its route. Parks in the corner there and goes to its charging dock. This right here is the crossover. So when we're milking cows, we start with this group, we bring them from here, move all the gates and bring them up into the holding area over there. Each group has 2 cow brushes. So there's one there, one a little further back. There's 4 water bowls on each side. And this barn's fully tunnel ventilation as well. There's 10 exhaust fans at the back of this barn though. It's quite a bit bigger than the straw pack barn. And then the panels at the front there open down and let a bunch of air in. We bed this barn with sand, so our sand room is just at the back corner there. And all of the manure from the alleys, we push it every milking to the back into a slot, which brings it to a pit, and then it pumps it out to the big lagoon out back. And we'll take a look at that after we go to the corrals. And that's the main cow barn. This is our shop here. It's got a total of 3 bays, and that's because we kept adding on to it. This was a square, and that was the first part of the shop. That lean-to used to just be the lean-to. There were no walls on it. It wasn't insulated or anything, but now it is. Stays nice and warm in the winter time. And this old part here, this first square, we just parked the wheel loader and the feed wagon in here. And this is the newest addition to our shop. Chopper's getting some work, as well as the baler. We got a mezzanine up there for storage. There's a bunch of shelves. We put all the parts, filters, belts, all that kind of stuff up there. Keeps the floor a little bit decluttered, but as you can see, there's still tons of stuff on the ground here. So from the shop there's some bins here. The 5 right there are 7,500 bushel hopper bottom bins. We have a total of 2,100 acres of land, and we probably allocate about 500 to 600 of those acres to chopping feed or baling it for the cows on the farm. I believe on the farm right now we have about 750 head in total. That's all the babies all the way up to the older milking cows. And so that's how we break up our land. So we need quite a bit of grain storage as well. So there's another 4 bins right there. Those are 10,000 bushel hopper bottom bins. And then the 2 white ones at the back there are fertilizer bins, 4,000 bushels each. We try to get our fertilizer on the yard in January when it's super cold out and there's the least amount of humidity out there, so that those things have the least amount of moisture in there. This shed right here is our machine shed. We park all the equipment in there. It's pretty dark in here right now. Oh, looks like the GoPro's doing a pretty good job though. There's some shelves behind the loader there for some more storage. And then we got the seeder and the combine, some silage trucks, 4-wheel drives in here as well. This shed right here doesn't have a door on it. It's just our small square bale shed. We put all the small squares in there. We're also storing a few pallets of sawdust in here and the small square baler itself. I had a question in the last video why the walls don't go all the way to the ground in this hay shed here. And that's just to allow some air to move up and over the bales, because sometimes they'll sweat a little bit, some moisture will condense in here, and then you'll end up with some moldy bales. And this just helps prevent that. And all the way in the back corner of the farm here, we have these silage pits. We have 3 concrete bunkers. Each bunker has 2 walls, even the middle one here. And then there's dirt in between, just so we can walk up in between the pits. The first one here is 8 meters wide. The second one is 10 meters wide, and that one's 20 meters wide. And they're all 65 meters long. Then we got a couple more pits on the ground just over here. There's still a corn pile out back there, just because there's still not enough storage here with these 3. And then this building right here is the generator shed. This thing will generate enough power for the entire farm when the power shuts off. And those louvers there and in the back corner there will automatically open up when this thing turns on, just to keep it cool and give it some clean air. So we're back at the front of the farm where we started the tour. We just went that way. Now we're gonna head down this alley, which takes us to the corrals. So this is the feedlot. There's a total of 9 corrals out here. These are the youngest, and they get older. Corrals 8 and 9 are our dry cows, so these cows have been milked before. They're pregnant right now. They're on their 2-month vacation, and they're just waiting until they calve, and then they can be milked again. These are far along bred heifers. Corral 1 here is the youngest calves that are outside. There's both heifers and steers in this corral. The 3 corrals at the front here have shelters. It's just the way they were built, I guess. That's why we put the dry cows in here. And the youngest calves, so they have a bit of extra shelter. Corral 2, breeding heifers. That's why we have these self-lockers in there. Corral 3, these heifers are just a little bit older than the ones in Corral 1. And these are just recently bred heifers in Corral 6. And then the 2 corrals at the back here, 4 and 5, are steer grower pens. We should be shipping a load of these guys pretty soon. I'm gonna try and film that for you guys. I think we're gonna send 40 away in a big cattle liner. So stay tuned for that. Now all the way at the back of the feedlot is the chute handling system here. There's 4 holding pens that go in a line here. Alley in the back. I believe each holding pen is 30 by 30 feet big. This is the chute and the loading ramp for when we ship steers. And then we also have a hoof trimming chute in the back corner there. This thing's a hydraulic chute. Got the controls right here to open it up. It's a squeeze, so we can squeeze the cows as well. And then there's a lever here to shut the back door. The alley, which takes us to the tub at the back. Ooh. Yeah, you stay right there. And then the last thing on the tour here is the manure lagoon. It's probably the most concentrated spot of concrete on the farm. The walls are 175 foot by 175 foot and they're 10 foot deep, so it's a pretty big pit. It's already getting pretty full. I didn't empty it out all the way this spring, and that's why. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's tour. If you did, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons down below. Check out the Instagram at saskdutchkid, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.